Hello, everybody. It's Thursday, January 9th. I'm Elena Barbera. Thanks for joining me. So today, here's what we're talking about. California and the lack of leadership in what used to be one of the greatest states in the union. Cities on fire in multiple places. People are dying. Life, property is being lost. Animals are scattered, the ones that even survived. And you've got a mayor who's in Ghana for an inauguration that she has absolutely nothing to do with. When you're running one of the largest cities in the country, you should be staying home unless you're on vacation. Your work is at home. You don't belong in the middle of Africa pretending that you're a foreign dignitary. You're the mayor of a city. But I'm digressing. Here's what she was asked while she's at the airport coming home to deal with it. And here was her response. This is, you know what? I'm just going to just watch. I'm really mad, if you can't tell.
Owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today?
Nothing. Not a word. She is not saying a single word. A leader. I'm sorry. A Girl Scout leader knows how to make a statement when things are going wrong. This is the leader of one of the largest cities in the United States, certainly the largest city in California. Millions of people rely on her, and she couldn't even look into this reporter's eye and say things. I'm very sorry to the people of Los Angeles that I'm not there. I am on my way. And while I'm on my way, I'm going to be communicating with every city agency and mobilizing every single resource that I have to help you during this time. And I'm trying to gather the information so as soon as I hit the ground in LA, I can give you all the facts that you need so that you know what decisions to make for your family. That's all she had to say. That is just general. She could have said something. Look at this. Watch the rest of this.
Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster?
Elon Musk says you're utterly incompetent. That is a compliment. Okay, so obviously she is just another Democrat installation, just a puppet. Let's find a black lady so she checks a couple of boxes. I can't believe I don't know her sexual orientation. That's weird. She must be straight. Otherwise, we would certainly know if she was a lesbian, right? So let's check a couple of boxes, get the little dummies to vote for her because they'll vote blue no matter who, and then we will control her. And so when things go wrong, she's actually not in charge at all. So she must have been told, do not say a word, or we will chop off your head. So she is standing there preferring to look like a complete moron than to defy her overlords and make even a general statement. Could you imagine being in Los Angeles and this is the person you turn to to just make sure that your life outside of your home runs smoothly? Are you kidding me? I'm appalled. Oh, here it goes. Here, watch this.
No apology for them?
All right, so now,
do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home?
All right, here she goes. Here she goes. She's gonna walk by the guy, and her. Look at these clowns that she's got protecting her. This is like a DEI, like woman power cartoon. Look, this is how my dog acts when he's got something in his mouth.
Anything to say to the citizens today?
Here she goes.
As you return.
She can't figure out how to open the door. Look, this is stressful. She's stressing out. This is exactly how my dog acts when I'm taking him for a walk and he picks up something in his mouth that he's not supposed to, and he just starts moving away from me because he knows I'm going to stick my hand in there and get it out. Just like that. Just like, nope, I don't hear you. I don't see you. These are the people who have power over millions of lives. Okay, so she's a completely incompetent nitwit. Then we've got the LAFD fire chief. Wait, this one's name, oh no, that was Karen Bass was the mayor who I just showed you. Kristin Crowley. This is the fire chief. And her focus, you would think, would be doing everything in her power to prevent and be prepared to fight fire. I mean, I don't know. Call me crazy. Call me crazy, but that's what I think a fire chief's job is. And guess what? Guess what we know about her that we shouldn't? Her sexual orientation. Look at this.
Super inspired.
She took time out of her already busy schedule to tell us about her vision for the department's future, one that includes a 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity.
People ask me, well, what number are you looking for? I say, I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough.
Out of 3,300 city firefighters, only 115 are women right now. She's already looking at ways to change that. She's quick to point out that doing so has a greater purpose.
You know what's never enough? No, we never have enough of competence. Competence, not diversity. Find the best people for the job, period.
Attracting the best and brightest for the job.
They feel included, they feel valued, and they feel part of a cohesive team.
The chief also checks another box.
They feel. Everything is about feelings with these people. You know what? You know what hurts? You know what people feel? Fire on their skin, smoke in their lungs. Those are the only feels you should be worried about as fire chief, preventing those feels.
When it comes to inclusivity and diversity at this department. She's a proud member of the LGBTQ community.
That just kind of opens the door of people that thought, wow, I didn't even know that was an opportunity for me.
Okay. So people who didn't know that was an opportunity for them. So you have to let all the gay people know that they can be firefighters, especially the women. So I know 2 female firefighters, and guess what? Both of them are lesbians. They know, lady. You don't need to force people in based on their sexuality and their skin color and their genitals. You have to find competent people. I can't with the way they talk, but wait, there's more. This is one of her deputy fire chiefs. Oh, this nitwit, Kristin Larson. So again, of course, a female LGBTQIA two-spirit unicorn person telling us her philosophy on firefighting.
Want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
Are you kidding me? She actually just said that somebody who needs to be rescued from a fire, it's their own fault that they got themselves into that situation. So the next time you're asleep in your apartment building and somebody downstairs falls asleep with a cigarette in their bed, or there's an electrical fire and you need to be rescued, that's your fault. That's your fault. And okay, let's just go back to what she said earlier. That's I got to get these people out of what she said earlier, that you need somebody that looks like you. But that's what you want. No, I want somebody. Oh, let's go back to it. Competent. I am not even an extra large person, and I don't want some scrawny little anybody coming in here that I got to rely on them to carry me out while there's flames and the ceiling's falling, even if it's an EMT situation and the firefighters are there. I don't want somebody that I feel like they're going to drop me if I'm hurt, sick, or trying to escape a fire. I want Paul freaking Bunyan. Stop with the lowering of the requirements. And then when the requirements get lowered, now you're blaming people that they need help, that your husband shouldn't have gotten himself in that position if he doesn't want a lady carrying him out of a fire. Go to hell with your feelings. Need somebody that looks like me? No. I want Paul Bunyan, and he looks nothing like me. Carry me out of a fire. Not some butch broad who thinks that I care about her sexual orientation when I'm in an emergency. Okay. People are dying in Los Angeles because the people running the city are fully incompetent. I don't believe that Gavin Newsom, the governor, is incompetent. I believe that he is evil. I believe that anything that he does that goes wrong is on purpose. He wants the people on their knees so they beg for communism. But wait, there's more. While all this is going on, people are running for their homes. They're being forced to evacuate as the fire keeps growing because of the winds, which, by the grace of God, the winds have calmed down today. But as this was going, they were evacuating and their homes are being looted because American culture has become so that when things go wrong, we don't help each other. We cut each other off at the knees even more.
I was getting my whole family out. All you have in your mind is just you're in survival mode at that point. I saw men coming into our neighborhoods. Police confirmed it. She had this to say. Take a listen.
It was wild. We just started seeing all these cars pull up, doors open, and groups of men running up our street, going up to the doors of these houses. And we weren't sure what was going on. I'm thinking, are these people here to help my neighbors? I hope so. And I left, and then my husband talked to the police and said, what are those guys doing? These guys don't live here. Get them out. My next door neighbor said, his quote, there were like 100 people that came up on scooters and were trying to get into any and all houses on the street.
And did you physically see police officers stopping them?
I didn't, but it's not to say that they weren't. It was so incredibly chaotic, and I was so worried about my big family and getting them out of our old tinderbox of a house that I was just focused on them first.
Right. So here you are, and you're scared to death because the flames are coming at you. You have to get your family and your paperwork, maybe some family heirlooms if you have time, out of the house. And you're seeing vandals drop off like in groups and go wreck your neighbors' homes. Now, in Florida, when we have hurricanes, the sheriff, remember this last hurricane season, came out and was like, hey, by the way, if somebody, if you break into, actually the governor said it, like if you break into somebody's house during this hurricane, there's a chance that there's going to be somebody standing on the other side of it with a gun. So we don't recommend it. And that person who shoots you for breaking into their house will not get in trouble for defending their home. So in California, though, guns are taboo and guns kill people. People don't kill people. So a lot of them are afraid. And the ones that do defend themselves in blue places, they get in trouble. So the thieves are just like completely free to do whatever they want. I was talking with a friend in Los Angeles who has not been evacuated today about the laws. And she said, I said, they created a culture between the defund the police and the raising the theft limit to $1,000 for a prosecution. They created a culture of thievery. And she's like, well, they changed that. They changed that law. And it's not like that anymore. We voted it down so that it's not $1,000 limit because it was ridiculous. And I said, do you think that the criminals, the dirtbags on the street who were doing all the looting, you think they're paying attention to what you voted for? The culture has been changed for them to think that no matter what they do, they don't get punished. Because punishing people is racist in a crazy liberal's mind. I'll tell you this. All of these women and all of this identity politics, hiring women because they're women, Black people because they're Black, lesbians because they're lesbian, Hispanics because they're Hispanics, on and on and on and on. It really makes me mistrust people. And it's sad because I used to be, if I went into an emergency room and a Black doctor walked in, I thought nothing about his qualifications, nothing. I just assumed he was qualified. He walks in, there he is, he's qualified. Now I walk into an emergency room and a young Black doctor walks in, and I can't help but to wonder, are they here because they're smart, or are they here because they got an extra points on their tests, and or they got into college because they had to fill a quota, because they got something because of affirmative action or DEI. So now, and you can say, oh, you're evil, I'm evil. No, I didn't create this problem. You did. You're the ones that created all these programs from kindergarten up to give anyone of color or women a leg up, just to fill spots because they were underrepresented. So what am I supposed to think? And it's sad because somebody may be a genius, but I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know now. So thanks anyway. I'll skip. I'll pass. I'll pass on you as a lawyer. I'll pass on you as my doctor. It's very, very sad how they've hurt themselves even more, and they keep doubling down on it. And I'm not the only person who feels this way. I'm just one of the only people who will admit it. But behind closed doors, a lot of people talk to me about that and feel the same way. And they think it's a crying shame because they don't want to mistrust people telling us we were racist all along. We weren't. And then you've got the president. He's helping so much with the fire. This was him talking about the fire at a press conference today. Listen to this.
Vice President, I know you're directly affected, so you fire away. No pun intended.
Indeed.
All right.
Fire away at a press conference about the fire. Fire away, no pun intended. Ha ha ha, Joe. People are dead. People lost everything. We're seeing all the news stories about the celebrities who lost everything, and I feel terrible for them. I feel terrible. I can't even imagine what it is like to have your entire life ripped away from you. All you have left are the clothes on your back. But those people, thankfully, will be able to rebuild or just move somewhere else. They have money. What about the regular people, the majority of Americans who are barely making it paycheck to paycheck, and insurance companies may or may not pay for this? What is the government going to send them, a $700 check like they did for the people in Maui and the Carolinas? What are they going to do? And this one's making jokes. But yesterday, what he said was even worse. This is a little hard to hear, so I'll recap for you in a sec.
Got a notification yesterday their home was probably burning down. Today, there's a baby still standing.
So he said people got notifications yesterday that their homes were burned down. Some of them now they're like waiting for notifications on whether or not their homes are still standing. And then he says this.
Sure. But the good news is I'm a great grandfather as of today. I have a granddaughter. Baby girl.
They're clapping like a bunch of psychos. So you may or may not still have a house. Everything may have been lost in the fire. But the good news is, hey, I'm a great grandfather today. Isn't that great, everybody? And then they all clap. And even Gavin Newsom in all his evil darkness still was like he looked uncomfortable too, because he's still with it enough to know that that was hideous. And that was the moment then that they immediately ended the press conference and shuffled Joe back out the door because he blew it once again. Imagine you voted for him and for Kamala, and that's what you're getting out of it. So apparently people in California are starting to say, really step up and say that they're very disappointed in their elected officials and they're not happy with the way things are going. And will that change how they vote, or will do they hate Donald Trump or anyone who has ever aligned with Trump or any Republican so much that they prefer fire and incompetency and lack of preparedness and lack of prevention? Now, also there's talk about, how did this fire start? And Carl Higbie on Newsmax did a segment that was really, really enlightening about their how many thousands of encampment fires get started by homeless people in California. And this very well could have been started by that. Tens of billions of dollars in California are put towards solving the homeless problem while it gets increasingly worse. I don't even pretend to have a good understanding of it. And it's such a complex issue. that somehow they keep adding money to and making it worse. Very similar to how the government keeps adding money to our educational system and making it worse. The more the government gets involved, the worse things get. It's a pattern. You don't have to be a genius to see that pattern. Anyway, DEI is ruining America. It is making us less safe. It is costing us lives. We're seeing it in California. I don't know if the entire nation has to be on fire before everybody wakes up and realizes the truth. Stop making excuses for these installed DEI hire puppets who have no business being in the roles that they're in. All because white people and toxic masculinity, that's where their story started with all this. Damn straight, I want toxic masculinity in the fire department, because those are the ones that ran in to the burning buildings and didn't look at you first and say, are you comfortable with me? Excuse me, but you really shouldn't have put yourself in this position of being in a burning building, but I guess I'll try to help you out anyway. That's what we heard from them. Yeah, get bent. All right, guys, that's it. I'm out of here today. This is like therapy some days, I swear. All right. Have a great night. Stay safe if you're in California. God bless you and God bless America.